you're having your Christmas dinner, and all of a sudden you're getting lectured again.
And I was so tempted. I was like, what if I just jump on a plane back?
Do it for the law, honestly. Do it for
Yeah.
They're all nut jobs. My Nana especially. Nana, love you.
Oh my God. Jake's just racist.
Sorry.
Doesn't want me to talk about
racist.
Russian culture.
Depending on if you trauma Agora reviewers are under 18, when your parents tell you that Santa isn't real. If you zoom in on your life, it's a tragedy, and the more you zoom out, it becomes a comedy.
Hilarious. Crack on through it. Have a laugh. Try your best. I'm ready.
My nails just broke.
No, stop. I can't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Trauma Agora. We are in person.
I was not ready for that at all.
Jake just got impatient and decided to start the
Right.
intro.
I was waiting for the right time.
In the middle of our conversation.
Oh, God.
Today we're going to talk about driving home for Christmas. As you can see, Emily's house is already decorated for Christmas.
Yeah, just loving the Christmas vibes that
so-
we definitely don't have.
Yikes, yikes.
When we get on
It
Christmas
is
morning.
what is the date? 11th of December, 12th of December. Oh, they're still now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everyone else is driving home for Christmas. I'm driving away for Christmas. So what's the point of me decorating my house? You know, I'm going to somebody else's where they can put in all the hard work and the labour of putting up the decks. I'm not interested in doing it for we'll be gone as of the 23rd, so it's not even real, you know? No point in putting prezzies under the tree when they're going to be packed away in the car.
That's the killer line. I think that's one for the comment.
Fair play.
Is it? Is that even controversial?
Well, not having your Christmas deckies up on the 11th of December.
Oh, really?
It's the 12th.
Yikes.
So we wanted to talk about all of our traumas from childhood today.
Okay.
Basically.
Buckle up. Happy Christmas.
And just what it's like going home for Christmas as an adult and like the relationships that you have with your parents as an adult, because it's just so different. And low key, I think all of us regress a little bit when we go home and we see family and we're back in our childhood home, back with our parents at Christmas time. And yeah, we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, just unpack a little bit about why we regress, like why we feel the psychological shift when we go home and we sat with our parents or our siblings, and yeah, why it's all just that little bit different, especially when you're all in a cobbled together in a house.
We're not alone in feeling this way. And I think that's why we wanted to create this episode, because a lot of people will go out, especially in their 20s and 30s, they have maybe their first houses, they're renting somewhere, they're living in a new country, and they'll come back to their parental environment. And you'll just notice yourself starting to fall back into your childhood role. And completely unconsciously, you might even prepare going into the house. Like, I'm an adult, I'm completely separate, I have my own life, I can see my parents eye to eye now. And then you sit down, you're having your Christmas dinner, and all of a sudden you're getting lectured again.
Yeah.
And then you start just withdrawing or looking down or start looking at your siblings telling you off. But it's just interesting how we do naturally do that, going from one environment, and almost it feels like you're living a different life. Because when you come home, it's like, why am I falling back into these same habits again, where I'm subconsciously asking for my mum's approval, like, oh yeah, while I was gone, I, got this promotion and I went to this country and I did this. And then other times you'll just leave and be like, oh, why? I don't actually care about that. I just enjoying living my life.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how relatable it is. And I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are of coming home for Christmas. Because for me, I have both my parents are still together.
Oof.
Which is a start.
Well, with that old chestnut.
Yeah, it could never be us, could it?
No, it couldn't. Mine are separated at the moment, and well, it's a big deal. Like me coming home for Christmas, like I always come home. Even
Well, you're
last
an only
year,
child as well.
I'm an
so,
only
like,
child.
Obviously, yeah,
There's a
it's
lot.
nice for them.
There's a lot of pressure on me to come home. I think like even last year I was in India and I literally came home still for Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
that's
I was traveling, yeah. So
God, that feels like yesterday as well. I
Yeah.
can't believe that.
it's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I come home every time, and it's weird now, the dynamic, like since my parents have separated 5 years ago now, I think it was just around COVID time. And they're still very good friends, and then we meet up for Christmas, and it's a little bit like that dynamic of playing happy families. I'm sure lots of people will be familiar with like divorced or separated parents, and it just feels a bit fake sometimes. And like the thing that will be the trigger for me is like going back to all these memories of like what happened, like when my parents separated, like why they separated, and not to go too much into that, but yeah, it wasn't great. There was infidelity involved. Like I didn't talk to my dad for like a year after this happened. So, and I found out in this house, like in this family house. When I was
so it's like
back.
the center of all that trauma.
Yeah, of the trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found out when I was back visiting from London, because I was living in London at the time, and my mum was just like, come home. And I was like,
oh my God.
And I was
That's
like,
not good.
oh, like, I don't know why I didn't take it seriously. Like, I was just like, oh yeah, like I'll come home at some point. Like, so it wasn't that far off Christmas. I think it was like November or something. So I was like, yeah, I'll come home at some point. And then, yeah, so as soon as I got home, they like both sat me down, told me everything that happened, told me way too many details.
Oh, wow.
I think we should talk about
Not
like,
that much tea.
about what it's like when you're the adult in the relationship.
Right, yeah,
and like,
exactly.
because that's kind of the phase that I had to step into, because my mum like completely fell apart. I had to step in and be the parent, basically. Like that Christmas, I organized a trip away for us. Like I was just doing anything I could to make her happy. Like I kicked my dad out of the house. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Taking that responsibility of like, and like taking the authority in the situation,
yeah.
in that crisis, essentially.
Yeah.
That's not the responsibility of a child, essentially. In that, I guess if we're looking at it from a structure and a hierarchy, obviously you're not a child, but
yeah.
the child of these two people,
Yeah.
these two
Yeah.
individuals.
And it's just weird because you feel like, in a weird way, I felt like I lost both my parents, kind of. Because like I said, I was so angry at my dad, didn't talk to him for a year. And then my mum was just in such a bad way that, like I said, I was the one being the parent. So suddenly it was so strange. And I think because of that, she treated me as more of a friend, and she told me way more than she should have. And that's been a huge trauma for me, like in dating and things like that, for example. Like, yeah, so that's been a huge thing. But
how did it manifest in your dating? Can you elaborate?
just didn't trust men. Just didn't trust men
I see what
at
you
all.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Jake.
I'm not sat
Is that literally in the
Our
middle?
token man. I just didn't trust men really. And like I was seeing a really nice guy at the time, actually, in London. He was a doctor, and he was just like the sweetest guy ever. He was so nice to me, treated me so well. I think I've been seeing him for about a month. And I had...
Shout out to him, by the way, if you're watching.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Dr. What we call him? Dr.
Brian.
Dr. Brian again, yeah. Yeah. And he was so nice. But because this happened, I just couldn't trust anyone after this. And not long after that, I felt like I just kept looking for signs that he's lying to me, like all men are liars. That's it. Because they'll say like that's the definition of trauma when it changes your worldview. It doesn't just change, it's not just the situation, it changed my whole view of the world oh, all men are going to betray me. Like, no man's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on that, guys. That's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching.
What a trauma dump. Sorry, guys.
Going back to the same mental trash.
I actually trauma dumped this on Emily and Jake a few weeks ago, and I realised I didn't know, and it was like, oh, cool, I'm going to have on a Monday morning,
honestly,
fresh off the weekend, and everyone's mouth was open when I gave all the juicy details.
We were so shocked, but also, Jake, I don't know about you, but my heart just broke for you because it's such a specific scenario. I don't think there's many people out there that would have had to gone through what you went through, B, at that age as well, so to be so like conscious of everything and to be dating yourself, like, you know, out in the real world, like you're essentially an adult, flown the nest. Like, when does that ever really... I mean, my parents divorced when I was 18, so I was
late.
still... It's still like but at the same time I was still very much in the family home. You know, we were still kind of a unit in a lot of ways, whereas you guys were, you know, sort of living your own lives to an extent. And also thirdly, just like that complete sort of collapse of any kind of hierarchy, boundaries between you and your mum or you and your dad. Like, I mean, that is just like, that's a whole, there's like layered, so layered. So Jake, I don't know, like I say, my heart was broken for you, but
yeah, it definitely was. And it's interesting how like we talked about there's like some familial role theory where when you do come home, you do start to assume different roles. And one of them is being like parentified.
The fixer and like, and you've obviously like through no fault of your own been cornered essentially into that. Or that's how I view it anyway. That's not the words you told me, but that's how I view it. I mean, I definitely have that as well with my family. I definitely have to assume some sort of adult parental position. I'm the fixer, but also I kind of assume other roles, which is obviously what you can explain as well. But yeah, I think for yourself, it's complicated for your Christmas setup, I can imagine.
Exactly, yeah. It's interesting for me because I still have that stable unit, but because obviously I travel around a lot, I'm used to leaving the environment, coming back, leaving, coming back. And it's always when I come back, I feel like there's a huge ceiling just pressed on top of me.
Right.
And I'm quite open about it with my siblings. I'll be like, I love you. I want to be around you, but I just have no mental capacity anymore. And it's fascinating. You can still have that stable environment, but there's obviously different dynamics going on with my parents. Being in my parents' house, I don't feel like I'm in my house. That's obviously very common. You coming home for Christmas, you're not really in your house. Or even if you're in your house and your parents come in to visit and you're setting up the dinner table and then you just hear a comment and you're like,
oh, there it is.
yeah. And it's, it's fascinating, but it's also, it's not a fun dynamic, but we all have to do it. And
most people do. I think some people opt to obviously just keep it pretty low key, don't they? I think there's some people that just would respond to it and just go, I'm all right, thanks. I want to keep my boundaries at my own front door rather than the bedroom door of my childhood home, you know, which is hard to maintain, I think.
I think, well, in terms of like a timeline, you're physically in the car driving home for Christmas. What is going through your head of like, okay, this is what I'm going to predict is going to happen?
Turn the car on.
Yeah.
Well, that was me on a plane. Like, 'cause obviously I came from Malaga, from Spain, and I was in the airport, and there was actually a flight back to Malaga when I'd arrived in the UK. And I was so tempted. I was like, what if I just jump on a plane back?
I could just
go back. No one's technically forcing me to be here.
Do it for the law, honestly. Do it for the law.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Bless you. You can't really get away with it though. Like you say, it's just you three. So I feel like with Jake, it would be like, oh, it's a big family, it's all right.
That's
make
the
it its
thing.
own time. And
That's the thing.
Yeah,
There's so much pressure on me, like as the only child, to be there and show
Yeah.
up and stuff. And
because you're only child. I'm one of 4, and you're
just one of 2.
one of 2. Yeah, so we definitely a whole spectrum of
It's
like
a spectrum,
how
definitely.
how we relate to our parents, how
Yeah.
our siblings relate to it, and also like our approaches towards it. So
Yeah,
I think it'd be
definitely.
an
tell us
interesting one.
more about your family, Em.
Yeah, like I said, parents aren't together anymore. They have their own respective partners now. But this year, for example, let's relate it back to your question. I'll be driving up 4 hours to Northumberland to go and stay with my mum's side of the family. So it's going to be a long drive and a lot of reflection, I think, during that time. It's not like a little 20 minutes pop down the road. It's like a lock in. This is it now. Go through and try and figure out how this next week is going to play out. But yeah, so it's going to be me, my mum, my sister, my partner as well, obviously, and my mum's partner, his parents, and then my nan, who is my mum's mum. My nan lost her partner last month, so that's why we're making sure that we kind of surround her this Christmas just with the extra support. But I mean, they're all nut jobs. I mean, my nan especially. Nana, love you. You are bonkers. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a madhouse. Like, this is the thing. Whenever we go up there, there's the dogs. We're bringing our puppy as well this year, so.
That's not creating more calm.
Yeah, not at all. But this is the thing, exactly. It's like, it's quite a chaotic environment, even just at a baseline. Even before you add any law, any dynamics or anything, it's already quite chaotic. And we'll all be under one roof as well, apart from my nan, who literally lives across the road. God love her. There's a whole thing about, like, my stepdad's parents they all live on one street. So, like, they live in one house, and then my nan lives, like, a few doors down, and then literally, I think she's counted it, it's, like, less than 100 steps between my mum's and hers. So it's just, like, talk about boundaries. I don't think there are any. They're all just fluid. They all just kind of do their own thing. a little community that they've created for themselves. But yeah, so this Christmas it's going to be a long old drive of thinking. I think what's going to honestly be going through my head is I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to have to be so drunk. I'm going to have to do a little recce to the local shop, little whatever, and just stock up on some wine. And I think I'm going to be thinking a lot about my nan, obviously, because she's going to be in a particularly vulnerable position this year. So I think it's just going to be thinking about how to balance those extra layers of, we can talk about layers of emotions, like layers of different things, because Christmas is such a reflective time, whether you celebrate, I think, Christmas or not. Because I don't celebrate it for religious reasons. I imagine that you guys are similar. Like, I don't think we are religious, but I think it's like more family time that people obviously relate to, especially British culture. Christmas is so entrenched in British culture. And I think actually, if anything, Christmas is just more of a reflective time for anybody that celebrates, because everybody's kind of off work. Knocking around, even if you don't do the Christmassy stuff, you're all knocking around in the house together, you're all kind of in each other's space, you're all kind of remembering what it's like to cooperate with each other, you know, doing the roast together and, oh, sorry, let me get out of your way, and all this kind of stuff. You're all dancing around each other. And I think that's the thing that I really enjoy. I didn't have the smoothest of childhoods, but I do really enjoy stepping back into that mindset of like hustle and bustle, and like, because I didn't have a big family like yourself. It was 4 of us, but when we were all like at home, and like, you know, my sister would be doing her homework or something, and I'd be pissing someone off, or, you know, running around with our little dog, and dad would be in and out of the garage like doing bits on the car, and mum would be like baking something or watching the news or whatever, I don't know. But like, it's that hustle and bustle that I think now that it's just me and my partner and the dog, but just us two really, I miss that. So I do gravitate towards that, even though it is quite a triggering situation for me to be in. There are definitely familiar things that I miss. So I'll be probably driving home, driving up north, thinking, you know, there's a few like things I'm scared about. There's a few triggering things for sure. And my family know this as well. So don't worry.
How does the whole like being a parent thing come up for you? Of like, you said you take on the parental role.
I think, well, my nan especially is, I don't think, my nan is going to love the fact that she's like the centre of
star of the podcast.
Put the 4 posts.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Oh, she'd love this. Honestly, she'd love it. But the parental side of it comes out when looking after, say, my nan, for example. I don't think she would hate to think that I'm some sort of parent to her. I don't think I am. She very much still sees me and my sister as little girls. I know that for a fact. She still treats us, you know, with that super like warm nan kind of approach. But I think especially when she's going through grief and loss, and there's a lot of change in dynamic for her this year, I think the version of stepping into a parental position this year will definitely be in the sense of me and my sister, kind of, and my mum as well, who was obviously her daughter, literally almost like emotionally huddling her and just like seeing her through this period. We've all had to, in various moments, I think, step in on behalf of our parents or on behalf of our elder siblings or whatever, and kind of take charge of a situation. And I think that's the sort of thing that will be happening certainly for this year. But that's what it will definitely be this year. I think it's weird. I think a lot about hierarchies when I think about being around family. Like there's that kind of, and I've spoken about it with my therapist, like there's a lot of hierarchical shifts that go on. Like you talk about the roles and stuff. I think it also, those roles fit within a hierarchy of kind of what is most desirable, fitting for the moment. It's very situational. Do you see what I mean? I think there's like for example, I've got a younger sister, but there's very often a situation where my sister, she's a bit closer with my mum, so when we go up, it's going to be her kind of stepping above me in that hierarchy, if that makes sense. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's been times where I'm the other way around, or like I've been almost a parent, like we say, or my nan's become the child or whatever. Like there's shifts. in the structure and in that hierarchy. So I'm interested to see how it'll play out. I don't know what's it like for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that.
It's interesting you talk about the hierarchies. Sorry to keep yapping. I feel like 40
No,
like
do it.
quiet
You
this
can
episode.
You can sit this one out.
Just normal.
You've got a normal family, so
Yeah, it's like,
That's what happens when you're in the middle. Like you're just there, like
yeah, just strain my neck for half an hour.
Jake
that
has
was
a
fine.
regular
Watching
Agora. Oh yeah, we're back. What do you want?
oh, we're back.
We're back.
Yeah.
We had a quick break.
We had a quick comfort break, but we're back.
I'm still tucked in. I haven't moved a muscle.
Well, to be fair, Emily didn't actually move. Yeah. I was going to bounce off what Emily said about the hierarchies changing. And I was going to say that's so interesting because from my culture, so for those of you that don't know, I'm half Russian. My mum's Russian. So from that culture, it's very hierarchical and it's very respect your elders and it's very the parents always right. So that's why it was so strange for me to go into that parent role like during that time. But now it's very much back to the norm, which is like when I go home, my parents treat me like I'm still a kid.
And that's hard because I have the same thing. Do you? I'm assuming
Oh yeah, 100%. It's always my mum would always come in my room, sit at the edge of the bed and go, I don't think you should travel to that place. I don't think you should be doing this.
I didn't need you to.
Yeah, I didn't ask.
It's just like, because now my perception of the world is fed from my mum, but then my mum's perception of the world is fed through different experiences to what I've had of the world. And again, you could talk about chains of, I wonder where that came from my mum. Could have been from her mum and then mum, whatever. Be intergenerational, but it's coming back into that and then feeling my worldview start to be imposed upon by her. It's obviously, she says it to me all the times, like, I am your mum, which is also another question I want to ask, because you said you had to parent your mum.
Oh, hang on, she needs to finish off your bit about Russian culture.
Oh my God, Jake's just racist.
Sorry.
Doesn't want me to talk about
Racist.
Russian culture. Jake's xenophobic, guys. Doesn't want to hear about Russian culture.
Sorry. I do want to.
No, that was it though. Basically, of just like it's very respect your elders. It's very like I had a lot of fights with my parents growing up, and I remember one significant one was about respect, and my mum was like, "You'll respect me because I'm your mom," and I was like, "Well, no. If you do something I disagree with, like, I'm not going to respect that."
I'm so
and that's the mindset is like you respect your elder no matter what. Like no matter if they're wrong, you respect them, and you just like they can't be wrong basically. And so we had
such a toxic
a lot of
thing,
arguments,
isn't it?
but it's very like common in Eastern cultures. I was going to say, I don't know how it is for you guys, but like definitely a lot of my friends who are Asian, for example, said the same thing. Like it's very like you don't really have a lot of say. Boundaries is not a thing. Like we can get a whole thing into boundaries, but I never had, like mum does not to this day know what boundaries are. She'll just barge in my room when I'm by myself in there asleep. She'll just barge in. She used to read my diary growing up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, never. Yeah. That's not okay.
But that was like normal. Yeah.
I hate my mum because she reads my diary.
She's like,
she's reading it all. She was laughing it up.
Yeah, I mean, credit to my parents. They will always knock the door.
They wouldn't.
They will always.
Oh no, that's not.
Oh really?
That's not. Oh, Jake, do you have that as well?
Dad, you crushed it.
Yeah, I've had.
I mean, there's definitely like at least a little bit of buffer, you know. I don't think I'd have coped. I'd have coped there.
I've had some knocks, I've had some barges. I've had a 50-50, I'd say. What's interesting is like your parents can never be wrong. Obviously, depending on if you trauma or review as a under 18, when your parents tell you that Santa isn't real, that's kind of you grow up assuming that your parents are always right. Whatever they say goes. I'm right because I'm your mom. But then that's kind of the first big lie that derails kind of your perspective of them. The tooth fairy as well. And it's related.
Shout out to the tooth fairy.
This was Jake's villain origin story. Learning that Santa wasn't real. This was the origin of all his trauma. It's like a joke saying that men will still like talk about their trauma from when they were like 16 of how some girl like messed them about and they'll be 40 and being like, this is why I have an anxious attachment.
Yeah. The point is when you have parents who parent you, they have the role of I'm always right. But when you grow up to an adult, you know full well that you are not always right and you always make mistakes And it's interesting how different people parent their children. You have like a parent and child, you have a best friend, or you have someone who also meets you at eye level. And there's a rapper called Loyal Kana. He's from London. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's released an album about being a dad, and he has conversations with his son and says, hey, I thought that this was how I interpreted the situation. I thought you were wrong, so I told you off. I realized I was wrong, and I'm sorry about that.
Oh, wow.
So imagine having that conversation with your
oh my God.
So you have that conversation with your 6-year-old, and it's interesting how different people will parent their children. And then this is going to tie back to Christmas, because you might go back to Christmas. My cousins are best friends with their mom. They always go on holidays with them. Like, I met them all in Lisbon. We all went for dinner. It was really fun. But I could never imagine my mum just going, do you want to pop to Australia for a couple of weeks with me? I'd be like, absolutely not.
Funny you say that. My sister actually just went to Australia with my dad.
Oh.
For literally, it was for a week, guys.
Can't imagine that.
Guys, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so that was the first time she'd been on a holiday with my dad since she was like, what, 12 or something? Like, so I think that was a massive like learning experience for her about like what it's like to be in that very kind of chill, friendly situation with a parent. You know, a guy, just a 55-year-old guy, you know, it's a very different dynamic. Like, now that she's mid-20s, I can't remember how old she is. So please continue.
No, I just think like, I wonder what your thoughts are in terms of like how your parents parented you and how that affected you going into Christmas, because I think that's going to be so wine lasting.
She's already got about 4,000 examples.
Yeah, or I said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a broadcast, isn't she? I mean,
Yeah.
mine were very strict. And I was very much, obviously being an only child, like I've mentioned on the podcast before about being born with IVF and stuff. Like, I feel like there was a lot of always pressure on me. And the dog's whining in the background. I feel so bad.
No,
Poor
don't.
Treacle is locked up.
She has been in there a little while, but she'll
I do feel bad for her.
Her dad will be home.
She wants to join the Agora. She wants to
Yeah.
share
She'll just throttle us all.
She's gonna come in and be like,
Can you call
I
it
want to talk about.
for the news?
We'll do a little extra episode.
She's gonna come in and be like, I want to talk about my trauma from my parent Emily.
Yeah, she's gonna rinse.
She locks me in this crate.
You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, too right, Treacle. Too right.
So right. Well, I was saying they were very strict. A lot of pressure on me since I was a kid. Very much like the golden child. Like, had to always perform. Had to.
that explains why you got the AD before us.
Yeah, Emily, and Nina went for the same promotion, and Nina got it. So that's for
It
context.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Cheers to that, Jake. I mean,
Do you know
that's
what
a
I mean,
whole
guys?
episode of Trauma Agora for me and Jake to do. About how we're
Yeah,
traumatized.
living in Nina's shadow. And
Oh God. I get a lot of judgment on decisions I make. My parents are very judgy.
Yeah.
So they'll judge a lot. They'll give their unsolicited opinions, which I won't ask for. You know, they do that all the time about dating, about my work, about my job. Are you happy? Like, I just don't think you're happy. I don't think you found yourself. Like, all of
wow,
this.
that's quite
all
deep.
of this stuff.
As
Yeah.
well,
My
my
mum
mum like have to answer.
my
And
mum
be like,
said
no,
that.
I have found myself.
My mum
Like,
said that when I went to Bali the second time. She was like, I don't know why you're doing this. Like, I just don't think you know what you want with your life.
wow.
And I was like, great, thanks for that.
yeah.
Thanks for that support. There's just never been, like, they are more supportive of me now, but growing up, they never said anything supportive. Never. Like, never gave me any praise. When I got like second in the class, it was like, why are you not first?
Oh my god.
Oh, I see. Yeah, my parents didn't have any expectations of me. Mine were the opposite.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the ADHD episode
What?
with Emily. When I got exam results, I actually did right. And my dad was just like, God, you do have a habit of pulling the rabbit out of the hat. He was like, Joey, like,
Is that what he said?
he's like, you do have a habit of pulling the rabbit out of the hat. And I was just like, thanks, Dad.
Is
That's
it-
not what I was expecting.
Is it
Like,
doing well in
like
the
it's a
end?
magic trick
Yeah.
because he wasn't expecting it.
Well,
Oh,
that's not. Well, at least that's something nice.
Nina's
kind
so
of-
not used
Kind
to
of a
compliments. She has
backhanded
to
compliment, but it's better than criticism. It's better than the dribs and drabs I had growing up.
maybe to tie it up, have you had anything work when you've been in those old familiar environments that or
what,
prompts?
like sort of successes that
I'm like, yes, I spoke to my mum. It's not quite that. It's kind of like, how have you dealt with the situations? Have you
Boundaries.
either just getting through it, setting boundaries, leaving the situation, be like, you know what, it's temporary, it's going to be over? Or is it like, let's lean into it? Listen, it depends on your relationship. I only see my parents maybe twice a year now because I've moved out. It could be an opportunity, but that doesn't apply to everyone. So I'm wondering how you guys have done it in your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, with the recent passing of my nan's partner, had to go up, obviously, and spend some time with the family then. So we almost did a bit of a pre-Christmas trial to see how the setup was going, which was crazy. We were obviously there to go to a funeral and pay our respects and stuff, but we were also there to kind of just see how things would pan out. And yeah, it was a bit chaotic, but it did give me a chance to see how 2025 Emily could handle this. I would say one thing that definitely didn't work was, and I'm sorry, babe, you will be watching this, but me and my partner didn't really work as a team as much as I wanted us to. And we know this, we spoke about this. We've very much figured it out for when we do the actual Christmas, which is where it's going to count. But we didn't work so much of a team in the sense that we both brought a lot of quite charged energy to the situation. Obviously, we were there for quite a negative reason as well. So we knew that the environment we were walking into was going to be pretty chaotic, but we also had a puppy. And so basically, we were almost like being parents ourselves whilst being parented, whilst looking out for our nan. And then, Josh has, not met the family all that many times because they live so far away. So he's like having to live with them for a long weekend, essentially, just being like, hi. He's met them a few times, obviously, but not as many as maybe, if the family lived up the road. What didn't work is the teamwork. We now know that we need to communicate a little bit better, and that's obviously beneficial if you have a partner.
Yeah.
If you don't, sorry guys, you're fucked. I've got no advice there.
What are we supposed to do?
To get a partner is what I'm saying.
2v1.
Just get a relationship, basically. I
Yeah,
don't believe
just
advice on this point.
I'll have that one.
Just go and find a partner.
Like friends are for life, not just
deal with
Christmas.
just deal with the family
Ooh.
together.
No, what I would say is teamwork with the people around you. It doesn't have to just be your partner. Obviously, I rely on my partner as much as I humanly can because he's the person that I think knows me the best. My sister and the people around me do, but they've also got quite a polished version of me, I think, in these situations. So he'll be the one cuddling up with me at the end of the day and going, so how was all that? And I'll be like, oh, what the hell just happened? So lean on the people around you that you trust, 100%. Communication is key. Don't just shoot a few dodgy looks across the room. Debrief, actually figure it out. Like, I know me and my sister, we definitely do have those moments where we go, oh, Jesus Christ. And then we just pull each other into the kitchen or something and go like, God, that was a shit show, or whatever it might be. So communication. The other thing as well is lean into the kind of comedy of it. That's what I was going to say.
There's a funny quote where it's like, if you zoom in on your life, it's a tragedy. And the more you zoom out, it becomes a comedy.
It's hilarious. Like I say, even what my nan is absolutely, she's a nut job. She's hilarious. Like, she does the most batshit things. She thinks it's totally normal. But God love her. You do have to just stand there and laugh sometimes. Just be like, all right, now. Jesus. And I've only talk about strict parents. I didn't have particularly strict parents, but my parents did not tolerate swearing at all. So you've heard me. I'm a fucking swear head.
Right.
Whatever, like crazy.
Pretty sure we've sworn on the podcast. It's fine, Jake.
God, so much editing.
Why is Jake panicking?
Are you not let me swear? Okay,
I'm sure she's sworn. We've all sworn before.
Guys, sorry, Jake. But I'm a right potty mouth, and I only really in the last few years started swearing in front of my mum, who just hates swearing. I've just started doing it. I don't care. I think it's more, like I say, lean into the comedy of the situation. Make everyone have a bit of a giggle. You all know you're there and you're kind of not through choice, by blood, all the rest of it. Crack on through it. Have a laugh. Try your best to not take things too seriously. That's honestly what I would say, because that's what's worked with me. It's just being the class clown, just pissing yourself at the situation. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Have you got any?
Oh.
You're just like,
I
cannot laugh. I cannot
You're
swear.
both
I cannot
Yeah. Just get
do anything.
another promotion this time.
Yeah, why are you home for Christmas? Why are you not working?
Overachieve.
That is the way to make my parents happy. Overachieve.
Good advice.
Yeah, don't do that. Definitely boundaries.
Yeah.
Has been a tough journey, especially reinforcing them, getting your parents to actually listen to the boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, boundaries is a hot topic because this is an example of my parents not respecting them. When my parents first separated, and at that time I wasn't talking to my dad, my mum was constantly trying to force me to talk to him. Like, they were constantly like in contact this whole time, these years, and are still good friends. And yeah, this whole time she was trying to force me to talk to him. He would literally knock on my window and try and talk to me. And I would have to close the curtains. Like, it was horrendous.
I had a similar situation. I was in contact with my mum for a little while, and she came to the door once at my dad's house, and my dad was just sort of like, because my mum and my dad weren't talking at that time as well. I was pretty fresh off the heels of the divorce. So I was just there like, oh my God, my dad was like fumbling about. And yeah, I've had exactly the same thing. But, you know, you have to be very, very clear. I'm an adult now.
You're an adult.
Exactly.
We will meet at eye level.
We will have to meet at eye level at some point. You cannot just enforce, I am your parent. No. Because it's not counted when I wanted it to count in X, Y, and Z previous situations. So you can't just, you know, pull rank now.
I do feel like it's gradually happened over years of that. Now we're more on eye level.
Sure.
But boundaries is still a tough one. Definitely saying it a lot, reinforcing it, being really clear, having, I guess, that alone time and time with myself, like time with my friends. I think that's what's keeping me sane, is just keeping myself very busy while I'm here.
Yeah.
Not like Camilla.
No, same. That's literally what I've done.
Literally, that's what Jake does.
I've traveled around the country. I've driven like 500 miles in total, seen like 4 different friendship groups. So
Just this week.
I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was like, guys, do you want to come to my house? Because then you can do the episode without worrying about your parents coming and knocking on the door.
God, yeah.
Oh, God.
Because we did a recording at home for If You Wanted To, You Would. And part of me was just like, someone's going to come in and go, your tea's on the table. Can't be asked.
Yeah, like the devil is at your door. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I should know. She had a cold at the time. So.
But do you guys, actually, I've got a quick question. Do you guys, when you're home, spend quality time with your parents? Because I've realised I never have and I don't. Like, we'll get home and we'll just all do our own thing. We'll be sat on our phone. Like, we'll just sat, like, my mum will watch a movie. I'll do something on my laptop. My dad will be on his phone. We just don't spend any quality time, really, or communicate much. And that's just how it's always been. And recently I feel like I found, people actually go and do stuff together and they have conversations, and when they're at home, they're playing a board game, they're interacting, they're having a conversation. Like, when all 3 of us are at home at Christmas is probably the one time I try and force them to do something with me and watch a movie with me or play a board game with me, but it's always been me forcing that.
My mum would always try to meet up and do something, but I don't like it when they're like, you hang out with me now. But on the weekends,
that does feel fake.
Like, that's what you like on the weekends, like my dad likes to watch fishing and cruise videos. So I sit down with him and we'll have like coffee in the morning, and then my mum would come in as well. So it's like it's tough again. It's meeting each other at eye level. It's like if I want to hang out, it's like if I don't want to hang out, could be a million reasons. It might not be personal to you, but I don't want to hang out. But when they're watching the latest cruise vlogger, like, let's watch
my heart.
It's like this.
So wholesome.
There's one called The Cruise Monkeys. And it's just people who are in they're always in their 50s and 60s. They're all retired or had like a end of life, like, you know what, I'm going to go cruising and record it for a living. That's when I will spend quality time with them, but it's not the same as let's go out for a coffee. I wouldn't do that. It's like I still need to meet their routine and how they go around the house. So it's like a middle ground, maybe of like, if I don't want to hang around with them, then I do really regress. But if I do want to hang around with them, then I do come out of it feeling like, okay, that's all right. But it's very individualistic to your relationships. But that would be my answer to that.
Yeah, I'm very much the same. Obviously, my parents being separated and living in very different places, like our whole Christmas will be oriented around either parent. So it's not like I really have particular rituals and stuff like that. But actually something else that might help setting those boundaries and like carving out your own experience at Christmas, not just something that sits within the family dynamic, but actually just creating your own rituals and traditions and saying like, no, every Christmas Eve, I want to go and do X. I want to. So, for example, and shout out again to the people, you know exactly who you are. We go out on Christmas Eve, me, my best friend from school, her partner, her sister, her mum, her dad. So me and her have essentially bonded our families together over this particular ritual that we've created, where we go out to the same pub every year. We get absolutely rat-arsed, and then we share our gifts and we chat bollocks about what we've been up to for the year, because most likely we hadn't probably crossed with her grandparents and whatever. And that's a ritual that literally the younger generation had carved out for the rest of the generations in that family to appreciate. And it is so much fun. It actually brings us all so much closer. I mean, it's usually only my dad and my sister from our side of the family, because obviously mum lives so far up north, it's not really convenient. Like, my dad loves it. He talks about, you know, when are we going to do it? You know, what's the time is, what's the plan for this year? I'm like, Dad, it's July. Chill out. So yeah, it's creating your own rituals and your own traditions, you know, going on a dog walk on Boxing Day or whatever it might be. I think that's something that you do for yourself. And if you can get the buy-in of the people around you, it makes it so much more special for you, rather than just being like, oh, will you just come watch a fucking film with me already? Like, you know, it's like,
yeah
you know, it's a bit less forced, a bit less fake. You know, you can actually foster your own enjoyment then.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to tie it up.
Yeah,
You'll be apt for enough time. Yeah.
I think there'll be a lot of people that relate to the chaos, the like really messed up dynamic. There's very specific situations, even just between the three of us, that will hopefully make people listening and watching feel like they're not alone in this experience of a clunky, awkward, forced Christmas experience. Like, obviously not everybody watching will, celebrate Christmas, but it is that time of year where it's kind of almost like forced down your throat to be a family team player and all of this kind of stuff. And yeah, forget your boundaries, because you got to be in there cooking the roast, and you got to be no, like, peel it back, strip it away, do it how you want to do it. Be realistic about your family as well. You know, my family are not lovey-dovey. We're not those sorts of people. We've not got a huge family, although actually over the years we've picked up more family members along the way through new partners and stuff like that. But I would say, to wrap this all up, this episode is all about making people feel like they're not going crazy and they can have whatever type of Christmas they feel is right for them. It doesn't have to fit a stereotype or fit what we see in films and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say it's a physiological reaction, what happens inside of you. And also your parents are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
When you say, I want to meet my parents at eye level, you can kind of invert that both ways. Where they are probably also like, oh God, my kid's coming back, and like, I need to make sure they're okay, I need to make sure they're safe. Like, it goes both ways if you see people as people, rather than like, you're this role, I'm this role, how is this all modeled around?
It's like the phrase like, oh, they're living life for the first time as well, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's really like good reality check sometimes.
So I hope that idea just creates a little space within you to either make the most of it, process it, get your rituals, set your boundaries, and then hopefully have a wonderful Christmas.
Yes.
From
how cute.
all of us at Trauma Agora.
I was going to say, you know, any last thoughts? Or you're
No,
just going to make it through Christmas? You're just
I'm crackered. I'm ready.
We're ready for a tapas.
I'm cream crackered and I'm ready for a satsuma.
Baileys, mulled wine.
Gorgeous. Oh yeah, let's do a little last thought. What's our like favourite thing to eat or drink at Christmas?
Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, bang.
And the Yule log.
Jake, what was that face for?
And the Yule log cake. The chocolate.
Oh
Yule
yeah.
log.
Oh my God, the M&S pine cones. Have you ever had them?
Oh no, I haven't.
Me and my dad rave about them all the time. They're so banging. How dare you pull a face at that Yorkshire pudding?
Me?
He doesn't like cucumber and he doesn't like Yorkshire pudding. That's just fucking
doesn't like anything. It's fine. We don't like you either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I didn't call you Yorkshire pudding, did I?
God.
Call you a cucumber.
Why don't you like? Sorry, pause. Why don't you like?
It's just very dry and doesn't taste very nice.
That's
Unless-
why you have
not had
gravy
a
on
proper
it.
one, babe.
well, you should have
That's-
specified Yorkshire pudding and gravy then.
Well, obviously, no one has Yorkshire
Well,
pudding
fine.
without gravy.
Well, some people might enjoy it if they like the taste
Well,
of
some
brick.
people might.
Then they can drink.
But oh my god,
But I
that's
don't-
controversial.
No.
What's your favourite?
I really like trifle. I like all the desserts at Christmas that you get. Oh, it's not really bad.
Skip them.
I'm a sweet tooth gal. What can I say? The turkey, cranberry, and stuffing sandwiches you can put together for yourself on Boxing Day with the leftovers.
Also good.
So good. So
I'd
good.
say the pigs in blankets, and
Oh, yeah.
also when you have the carrots and the swede, when you mix
A
it together.
swede?
Is it swede?
Yeah.
Do you mean
Swede or
parsnips?
swede? No, it's swede, carrot and swede.
Yeah, but why would you have swede on Christmas?
We have that carrot and swede
Hey,
together.
Yeah. Not fucking year 3. Why are you? That's what you get from the dinner lady. At
What do
school.
you mean?
Carrots
We
and
have it
swede.
every year.
Don't
We have carrots.
shout
and
at my
swede.
dad because he puts
Sorry,
year
John.
3 dinners together.
Sorry.
Shout out,
I mean,
John.
with all due respect, swede is capital punishment. Why the hell would you eat that?
Not that bad. It's fine mixed with carrot.
No.
Yeah, that tastes really sweet.
It is
And
nice.
you have gravy like.
Parsnips.
Yeah.
No, it's
Well,
parsnips.
parsnips
Oh,
are
alright.
separate.
It might be
Parsnips
parsnips.
are separate.
You want honey roasted
Honey roasted parsnips are
Okay.
also good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to your father and everything. I'm sure he makes a wonderful roast, but you will not catch me eating swede on God's day, on Christmas. On
God's day.
Before you went religious. But,
I am in that particular department. I'm very passionate.
yes. Okay, well,
Right.
leave your favourite Christmas
Oh yeah.
dinner item in the comments.
Yeah.
Yep. And also leave your parental traumas too as a nice
Leave them all.
combination for Christmas dinner.
Gorgeous.
Oh,
Happy Christmas.
Happy
Happy
Christmas.
Christmas.
Guys, bye. All right, that's it for today's chaos. Thanks for joining us in the Trauma Agora.
If you can relate, make sure you hit follow, send it to your mate who really needs to hear it, and come and find us on socials for some extra nonsense.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Same vibes, new existential crisis. See you then.